Today on SVG News, we've got mythical Xbox handheld consoles, a meeting of video game minds, morally ambiguous mod censorship, and romantic robot companions wearing Keanu Reeves' breathtaking face. So in short, prepare for everything.
What do you mean everything?
While other publishers like Nintendo and PlayStation have filled the handheld market with successful and admittedly not so successful offerings, gamers may wonder why Microsoft never jumped into the handheld console arena. A recent interview celebrating the New York Game Awards shed some light on the issue. The interview, led by Okadrian, asked former game execs big questions about their time at their respective companies. Reggie My Body Is Ready Fils-Aimé from Nintendo, Jack Tretton from Sony, and Robbie Buck from Microsoft may have had playful rivalries during their time in the gaming industry, but they were all smiles when they reconnected via Zoom. Buck, Microsoft's former chief Xbox officer, had a hand in Xbox's development as a brand and felt largely responsible for the company's early adoption of online gaming. He even noted this as one of his proudest achievements.
Xbox Live became our sort of differentiator, and it was a big bet on broadband, and voice and some other things.
Buck shared his perspective on Microsoft's place within the world of handheld gaming, saying that even though he sat through at least 3 portable console presentations, he said no to all of them. Buck laughed at the fact that the portable Xbox always ended up with the moniker X-Boy, and noted that the name would have surely led to copyright problems.
During my time running Xbox, there were at least 3 groups that presented portable Xbox presentations, and
yes,
they always got called X-Boy for some reason.
As far as the real reason behind Microsoft's lack of handheld options, Buck said the prospect of starting an entirely new team seemed too overwhelming for a younger company. Buck commented on his respect for Nintendo and Sony for entering the handheld market, and explained that industry experts always say there's not much of a difference between the handheld market and the console market. Buck disagreed, stating,
"And I think they're actually, at the time, Switch has changed all of that, I suppose, but at the time they were pretty different. And it would have meant starting up another team."
Buck went on to compare the process to, quote, starting Xbox except creating a handheld. He added that the company just didn't have the bandwidth to do that. Because Microsoft was such a new company, focusing on its online components and games were, quote, more than enough to keep Buck busy. Just as Buck pointed out, the Nintendo Switch, which just enjoyed a very lucrative 2020, changed the landscape of the handheld market and reimagined what consoles look like at home and on the go. Considering the long-lasting interest in an Xbox handheld and the multiple denied proposals for what that handheld could look like, fans might get to see how Microsoft does handhelds sometime in the future, but not just yet. Cyberpunk 2077 is certainly not a game for the faint of heart. Aside from all the shooting and the gory katana executions, there's a fair amount of steamy content present in Night City. Developer CD Projekt Red, the minds behind Cyberpunk, who incidentally clearly aren't living in a convent, have certainly spiced up some scenes and dialogue that would have been too scandalous for Cinemax after dark.
You're showing your age, my friend.
There is a line for those working at the Warsaw-based studio, however, and the creators of one particular Cyberpunk 2077 mod apparently crossed it. According to PC Gamer, a few naughty Cyberpunk modders got together and figured out a way for players to, knock boots with a character that can't be romanced, Johnny Silverhand. Now, we know what you're thinking. Actually, Johnny Silverhand is a self-aware construct embedded in V's consciousness via the relic, so canonically, it wouldn't make sense for you to be able to—
Shut up, you nerd!
Silverhand is one of the most recognizable characters in Cyberpunk 2077, and that has a lot to do with the fact that he's played by Keanu Reeves. The mod worked by transplanting the Johnny Silverhand character model onto one of the game's Joy Toys, which are basically
sex robots.
As soon as the mod gained some traction in the Cyberpunk 2077 community, though, CD Projekt Red quickly stepped in to defend Johnny Silverhand's honor. The mod is now gone.
No!
The studio provided a statement to PC Gamer that read, in part, Our most important rule regarding user-generated content, game mods in particular, is that it can't be harmful towards others. The harm, CDPR claimed, could be felt, quote, by the people who lent us their appearance for the purpose of creating characters in Cyberpunk 2077. Given the action taken on the Johnny Silverhand romance mod, it seems CD Projekt Red was almost certainly making reference to Keanu Reeves in this instance. A quick check of the mod's webpage shows that the mod in question has indeed been removed. This means those who haven't already downloaded it can no longer install it. With that said, it is rare that anything ever truly disappears from the internet. Perhaps the mod will resurface at some point in the future. For now, those hoping to make sweet cybernetic love to Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077 will have to use their imaginations.
Not a problem.